Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to understand that how to create tensors on GPU. And guys, if you are new to Pytorch, then do check my previous video on how to create tensor on CPU, as we will be building our concepts based on the concepts from previous video. So let's get started. To be able to create tensors on GPU, the first thing we need to confirm is whether we have Cuda Enable Gpu or not. Since I'm on Google Colab, what I'll do is I'll just enable GPU for my session. So I'll go to Edit, Notebook Settings, and here I'll select the Hardware Acceleration as GPU. Okay, this has been enabled. Now let's import the Torch library. For that, it is like import Torch, and along with this, I'll also import the NumPy library. So it is like import NumPy as NP. Now, as a basic check, let's display the version installed on our session. So it is like torch.__version__. Okay, the version that has been installed for our session is 1.3.1. So now, let's verify whether we have Cuda Enable GPU or not. So for that, I'll run as torch.cuda is available. Okay. We have the output as true. This confirms that we have a GPU that enables us to perform computations on it. So now, let's start by creating the tensors on GPU. So one thing we have to remember is that if we want to create the tensor on GPU, then we have to specify the device name in which we have to create. So if you're working on a system which has more than one GPU, then it's a good practice to know as which is the device that has been selected. So for that, we make use of current device function. Yes, current device function, which comes under torch.cuda package. So here I'll write as torch.cuda.current device. Yes, this has returned the value as 0. That means Cuda device at the index 0 is being used for my session. Now, to print the name of GPU, we make use of getDeviceName method, which is under torch.cuda package. So I'll write as print torch.cuda.getDeviceName of 0. Here, inside the parenthesis, I have specified the index of Cuda device which we have got before. Okay, so I'll now execute the code here. Yes, as we can see here, the GPU that has been assigned to my session is Tesla K80. So now, to create a tensor on a GPU, we have to specify the device name, that is every time when we are creating it. So first, I'll create the device variable as my_GPU and assign the GPU device which is present at first index. So I'll write as my_GPU is equal to torch.device of Cuda, 0. And now, to create a tensor on GPU, I'll write as x_GPU is equal to torch.tensor of np.arange of 10, device is equal to my_GPU. And now here, during the creation of tensor, along with the data, I am specifying one more parameter, that is device. And I have set it equal to my_GPU. Okay, I'll now execute the code. So this has been executed. So let's print the newly created tensor, that is x_GPU. Okay, this has created a tensor. But one important difference which we see from the normal tensor is we have a device name printed along with the data. And it says like device is equal to Cuda 0. That means tensor has been created on Cuda device at 0th index. And now I'll create one more tensor on GPU like this. That is y_GPU is equal to torch.linspace of 5, 10, 10, device is equal to my_GPU. And then I'll print y_GPU. Okay, even this tensor has been created on GPU. Now what I'll do is I'll just perform the mathematical operation between x and y tensors. So I'll write as z is equal to x_GPU plus y_GPU, and then I'll print z. So this has added two tensors, and observe the parameter here. It says like device is equal to Cuda 0. That means the resulting tensor is also created on GPU. Now let's see what happens when I add a tensor on GPU with tensor on CPU. So to understand this, I'll create a tensor on CPU as x underscore CPU is equal to torch.arange of 10. So here, while creation of tensor, if we don't specify the device name, by default, it will be created on CPU. So let's print it, that is print of x underscore CPU. Yes, this has created a tensor on CPU. And now let's try to add x underscore CPU with x underscore GPU. So it will be like x underscore CPU plus x underscore GPU. Yes, as we can see here, we have a runtime error and it says when the system is trying to add the tensor to X CPU, it is expecting a tensor which is present on CPU. But instead it got a tensor which is present at device CUDA 0. So guys, this is one of the very important concepts you need to remember when working with GPU. That is, most often when you are working on the large dataset, you may have created tensors on CPU and multiple GPUs. But when performing a mathematical operation, it's very important to make sure that the tensors are on same device to be able to perform the mathematical operation between them. So, in order to change the device of a particular tensor during any mathematical operation, of course we make use of to method. Yes, to method. So this time I'll write it like this. X underscore CPU dot to of my underscore GPU plus x underscore GPU, and I'll now execute the code. Okay, we now have the resulting tensor as a result of addition. So what I've done is, before performing the mathematical operation, I have transferred the tensor to GPU with the use of to method, and inside the parenthesis, I have specified the device name to which it has to move. In this case, it is my underscore GPU. Hence, when I executed the code, there was no error and the resulting tensor was created on GPU. And this is one of the common pitfalls for a beginner. So, please be mindful when working with multiple devices. And with this, we come to the end of this video on how to create and work with GPU tensors. And let's continue our learning from next tutorial. See you then!